back inside the Now Morning Show. The sound of Delv in the background there, and he's going to be part of the cast of Impact, an event for a cause happening this evening. And I have with me on set, not Dev, but I have Kay Allen.
Hi, good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. How are you all doing?
How are you doing this morning, Kay?
I'm good.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show. You know, I mean, we love having you on the show every single time that you come. But tell us about Impact, the concert. It's happening this evening.
Yes, it's at Naprima Bowl. Everyone, please feel free to join us. We have an awesome cast. We have Ziggy Rankin, we have Nisa, we have JD, we have Blessed Messenger, and yeah, a lot of other
I see Zan, Terry Lyons.
It's a big cast. Right, and it's for Worthy Cause. Atto Williams, I mean, we are in the same band, we work together, and he had a major surgery. And, you know, it's just to help with all the expenses and all that kind of thing that happens to, you know, the doctor bills and that kind of stuff. So,
what instrument does Atto play?
Keyboards.
Keyboards?
Yeah.
Okay. So is he keyboardist in the band? Is he performing tonight? Is he able to perform? Or
I'm not sure if he's performing, but Atto is an adventurer, so he might surprise us. I don't know. But yeah, it'll be nice to see him on stage.
Yeah.
But you know, everyone who he would have worked with in the past, because I think he also does stuff with Ziggy also. You know, we came together and say, well, yeah, we have to help out our boy. I mean, a fellow musician, that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
So guys, we would love to see you later on at Naprima Bowl, and you're in for a treat because I mean, everyone and their cousin and auntie and everybody else would be there. So it'll be nice for you all to come through and, you know, just enjoy. The tickets are $200. Guys, it's really to help with expenses and things like that because, you know, when issues like that occur, it does really be something else, you know.
Do you think that there can be a way for us? I've seen over the years all the time, but too many times, we see musicians, artists, calypsonians, all these kind of people having to come out and do fundraisers whenever something, you know, like a challenge like this, a medical challenge comes out. How do we mitigate against that? Is there a way?
I think what we're doing here is one of the things we need to, what will end up happening, because a lot of times you end up using up all your funds, because remember, if this is what you do full time, yes. So when you deplete your funds by going to different doctors, which I think that was the case, and then you end up in a pit, because it's like, okay, I would have depleted my funds, so I need to do something else. And if this is what you do full time, well, you call all your fellow musicians and say, guys, let's come together and, you know, get this done.
I guess what I'm trying to get at is, as a musician, you're essentially a freelancer, right? So you're not working for anybody in particular, but you work for several people when you get a call for a show, or you put on your own show, as the case may be. But is it the lack of a salary that makes it more difficult to be able to say, I'm going to have a medical emergency fund or whatever?
Well,
the case
what you're saying is correct, because, I mean, putting things in place would allow you to be able to, when something like this happens, that you'll be able to say, well, at least, you know, I put on a saving, as my pastor normally say, you know, you need to put aside outside of your title, friend, outside of that. Right? You have to make sure you save some, you invest some. No, don't have serious things. So I think we need to look into, as musicians, in making sure that we actually have a fund where we pay ourselves.
Right.
And I think that's the problem. A lot of times we use up all our funds doing everything else. We might buy equipment, I might buy mic, whatever.
Right.
Yes.
And this is the part that I wanted to get into, right? Because people always take it for granted and they complain. But anyway, they're so successful, they're making so much money. How come you're always asking for money?
Yeah, but we don't have a regular salary.
But that's the first part, right? The second part is how much investment is required in yourself as an artist. What do you have to invest? What are some of the costs that I mean, besides your regular adult living, right? Like, we ain't talking groceries and light bill and water bill. We ain't talking them things. That's regular costs that everybody has. So you have to pay those things, right?
True.
But as an artist, what sort of expenses do you have that you think are unique to artists?
Well, as you say, outside of that, like for me, if you have to do studio on a whole, we have to do recordings. That means one song, people, starts at $6,000. We didn't talk about mixing, mastering and stuff as yet. So just imagine if I want to do an album and I have 10 songs to do, think about it. And then I still have to pay somebody to master it and get all these things done. This thing costs money. So a lot of times you see and you say, but we always hear your name calling, but that money goes into stuff to make me a better artist, for you to keep seeing me where you see me. Yeah.
So it's difficult to be able to say, well, all right, you might be investing this portion of it, but the returns on the investment. how does that part go? Because I always see people saying, you know, I turned my money and I went in the studio and I recorded my song. They tell me I went and did it by the wrong person. I went back and I went by a proper person and I get mix and master
That's
properly.
another thing
and it's
again.
still in getting the love that it's supposed to get. So how are we mitigating against those things?
And another thing again, too, the support. Because remember, we are not working in a job where you say is a constant salary. That's not the case. So is when you get called, and I mean, if you host your own show at times, it's not all the time you would score. That's another thing.
That's a big
because
risk,
I know of friends of mine who you would have put out all your savings to have a show, and people who saying, yeah, man, I'm coming out on a day, and then when the night come, you end up with 50 persons. So and then you still have to pay the engineers because people would have come out. You still have to pay the backup.
Everybody
Thank
involved.
you. And people not seeing these things because everybody's saying, yeah, we are the cheerleaders at the side, but then when the actual event come, we don't see you all.
Yeah.
So it's a lot goes into making sure we maintain.
Tell me honestly, Kay, what would keep you in this business if that's the case? If that's the case, if it is such a big risk, if it is that is the support is waning, you're feeling as though these things are just, they're a lot to handle.
The love for what you do, because at the end of the day, I mean, when you hear everyone's story, who is a successful musician and who has made it, it's never an easy road. So because you love what you do and you want to get to that, you know, that pinnacle where you say, well, okay, I've done it all, I have my albums. I mean, eventually you end up international and stuff like that, and you might have gotten some big whatever MTV award or whatever. That is your ultimate goal. But at the end of the day, as I said, putting savings and stuff in place is something we have to keep telling ourselves. Put aside something. So when rainy days come, which we just have often rainy days.
You have a whole rainy season, girl.
Yeah, we just have often a lot of rainy days. You want to make sure that I still have something I could lean on because COVID that's
depleted a lot
the
of
best
savings.
example.
Yeah.
COVID did a number on a lot of us, and I think people still recovering from COVID.
Of course.
Yeah.
So any challenges that you'll be facing post-COVID is going to have to basically come from starting over from
But
scratch.
that is it, yeah.
So we encourage you to head on down to the Naparimo Bowl this evening. What time is the concert start? 7 p.m. at Naparimo Bowl. Impact the concert. It's an event for a cause, and it's happening at the Naparimo Bowl. Tickets are only $200.
Yes, $200.
Only $200. You can get them at Naparimo Bowl box office, so you can head down there tonight and pay at the door and get in. There's a whole heap of artists on the cast. We see some on the flyer here. Terry Lyons. We have Dev. We have Daddy Chiney, Colonel Roberts. I understand Prophet Benjamin is also on the cast. And of course, the extremely talented Miss Kay Allen, who I'm going to have to beg this morning, ask very nicely if you'll give me a little tune to go to the top of the hour.
No problem.
I appreciate you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, let me encourage each and every one of you to go out there and make a difference today now, because together we aspire. And if together we perspire, then together we definitely can achieve. On behalf of Kimberly D'Souza, Natasha Lake, and the entire team here at TTT, I'm Ruckus, wishing you a fantastic weekend and a fantastic August. I will see you guys again in September. Please enjoy the month and be nice on them meals. Oh, gosh. All right, let me go. To the top of the hour with Miss Kay Allen.
Ooh, oh, hey. Ooh, hey. Some people live for the fortune. Some people live just for the fame. Some people live for the power. Yeah. Some people live just to play the game. Some people think that the physical things defines what's within. But I've been here before, and their lives are bore, so full of the superficial. Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, some just want everything, but everything means nothing if I ain't got you. Some people search for a fountain. It promises forever young. on a sail